Okay, we're ready to go.
Thank you, Mr. Reynolds. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the North Ridgeville City Schools Board of Education meeting. Today is Tuesday, January. I'm going backwards. Okay, February. In case anybody want to repeat that month, it's February 20th, 6 p.m. We'll call this meeting to order. Please rise if you're able for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, roll call, please.
Mr. Grigsby. Here. Mr. Haynes. Here. Mrs. McCarthy.
Here.
Mrs. Saxon.
Here.
Mr. Baca.
All right, that brings us to finalization of the agenda.
The agenda is final as presented.
Thank you. Approval of minutes. It is recommended the Board of Education approve the written summary of the regular minutes for the meetings on January 3rd, 2024 and January 16th, 2024.
Moved.
Second.
Moved by Ms. Saxon, seconded by Mr. Grigsby. Is there any discussion? Roll call, please.
Mrs. Saxon.
Yes.
Mr. Grigsby. Yes. Mr. Haynes.
Yes.
Mrs. McCarthy.
Yes.
Mr. Baca.
Okay, we're gonna move into the superintendent's treasurer's report. But I'm going to do the first one. I'm gonna pretend that I'm the superintendent or the treasurer. Somebody of importance. I'd like to welcome Lion President Selena Kimball to the podium tonight to do a presentation for the Lions Educational Outreach Grant. And I'd also like to have Superintendent Roxanne Ramsey Casario join Mrs. Kimball.
Okay, so I am the president of the Lions Club of North Ridgeville. We're a community service group. We also have a Leo Club, which is our middle school, high school program. And one of our projects that we budget for, which part of our fundraising goes to, is our Lions Educational Outreach Program. And that is giving back grants to the community, to the school system. Teachers write grants. We have a committee that goes over all those grants. This year we had over $10,000 requested. We don't have that much money. We would love to give that much back to the schools if we could. We had $2,500 budget, and then we were able to allocate some more money because we just had a successful fundraiser. So we are granting a total of $3,304 back to the city schools. The staff that will be awarded their grants will receive letters and instructions on what to do. But we're super excited to be able to give back to the community and the schools.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. I have a ceremonial chef. I know, right?
Ready?
1, 2, 3.
Thank you. Thank you.
Great.
Very well. Thank you guys. Thank you. Thank you.
Very specific.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you to our Lions Club. We appreciate you.
Thank you.
And now I'll turn it over to you, Superintendent.
I too would like to thank the Lions. I know that that is an organization that proudly serves our community and our schools, and we are fortunate to be a part in their work and hope to continue that relationship moving forward. So thank you very much, Lions Kelly, and all of the other Lions who were involved. Our second item tonight is always my favorite in recognizing our students of the month, and I'd like to quickly kick that off with Mrs. Andrea Vance at our early learning center.
Right.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Tonight I have the pleasure of introducing our two students of the month. I'm going to start with our first student of the month, who unfortunately could not be here, but I did see him on Zoom, Garrett Smith. So Garrett. We hope you're feeling better, buddy. It's been going through the school, unfortunately. Fingers crossed, you'll be back soon. Garrett's teacher is Miss Jane in preschool, and Garrett's teacher said that he always works hard and tries his best with each task. He makes good choices inside of the classroom and interacts nicely with his peers. He does well following school rules and classroom routines, and he speaks up using his voice more and more each week. Congratulations to Garrett. Keep up the great work.
Yay.
Our next student of the month is Everly King. Can you wait? Everly is in Miss Browning's classroom in kindergarten. And Miss Browning says that Everly comes to school every morning with a bright smile on her face. She is kind to all, and she is always willing to help. Everly has worked really hard this year academically, and it shows in all the progress she's made. She is an excellent friend and role model and demonstrates kindness in her interactions with others. She perseveres in challenging tasks and always has a positive attitude. Everly has been named as her personal lost and found patrol, as she always finds something that is missing and gets it back to its owner safely. So we're going to put you in charge of the lost and found to get us coast. Keep up the amazing work, Everly. You're doing great things at ECLC. Congratulations to Everly. From Liberty.
Good evening. I'm really excited to introduce our two student of the month from Liberty this month. Our character trait for January was perseverance. And so both of the students that are here tonight demonstrate perseverance, not just in the month of January, but really throughout the school year. So to start off, our student of the month for first grade is Kara Deppenbrock, and she's in Miss Peters' first grade class. Miss Peters nominated Kara because she is an outstanding example of Ranger Strong, especially demonstrating perseverance. She is one of the hardest workers I've ever seen, both in school and at home. She is always willing to keep trying, and she doesn't ever get discouraged. Kara is also one of the kindest students I know. She goes out of her way to make sure her classmates feel important and included. I am so happy to have Kara in our class. Congratulations, Kara. And Jaden is our second grade student of the month, and he is in Miss Gee's class. She said that this year, Jaden has been the perfect example of perseverance. He has worked extra hard to practice skills without complaining. Even when he doesn't get something the first time, he's willing to give it another try. His determination and willingness to try out different strategies has allowed Jaden to grow in so many ways. Our classroom is better because Jaden is a part of it. And I've been with Jaden since last year, so I've really seen him grow from first grade to second grade, and we actually were just talking about this in the office. I just hope you know how proud we are of you and all the great things we're doing in second grade this year.
Okay.
Over to Mr. Sullivan from the North Ridgeville Academic Center.
Good evening. I'm very excited to announce our Students of the Month from Interact. We have 4 students. Our first student is Dion Nuri Chen, who is not here today. He's in 3rd grade in Orange Studio, so I'll read what his teachers said about him. Dion shows respect by coming to class ready to learn. He always had all his supplies and is ready to participate each day. Keep up the great work. Give him a round of applause. Our next student is Angelo Gianetta.
Yay.
Angelo, is a fifth grader in Purple Studio. That's pretty. Let's hear what Angelo's teachers said about him. Angelo is being recognized for demonstrating perseverance. It's awesome. Angelo perseveres both academically and personally. He works through difficult assignments in his classes and strives to improve his artwork through consistent practice. He is also able to show up and take care of his responsibilities even during challenging circumstances. Congratulations, sir. Our next student of the month is Daniel O'Malley. So Daniel's in the sixth grade. Here's what Daniel's teachers said about him. Daniel has a smile that will light up a room. He works every day to be a better student. He greets peers and staff throughout the building to bring joy to all those around him. Congratulations. And last but not least is Lauren Farney. Lauren is a seventh grader in Purple Studio. Here's what her teachers said about her. Lauren is a responsible young lady with a stellar work ethic. She is always trying her best and is a natural leader. Lauren was in the top 16 for the first round of Amazing Shake. This was a surprise to no one because of her ability to communicate easily and interact with others. Congratulations.
Good evening. I'm very excited to announce our Students of the Month over at Ranger High Tech Academy. Our first learner of the month is Tyson Bradley. Tyson has been nominated by his fourth grade English language arts coach, Coach Freeman. And this is what Coach Freeman has to say about Tyson. Tyson has done a wonderful job demonstrating the Ranger Strong characteristic of teamwork. A strength of Tyson's is being able to bring people together to accomplish a task. When working with his classmates, Tyson keeps the group on track in order to achieve their goal. Tyson, your coaches are very proud of you. Keep up the good work. And then Hannah, would you come up? Our second student of the month is Hannah Court. And Hannah was nominated by Coach Savachin, who is our technology instructor over at Ranger High Tech. And this is what Coach Savachin has to say about Hannah. Hannah is a responsible learner who strives to help her peers and coaches. This month, Hannah has volunteered to prepare materials for classes, deliver devices, and assist peers who are struggling creating their projects. Hannah's willingness to give back to our HTA community is a shining example of Ranger Strong behavior. I am very proud of you, Hannah. And you know, and now I'd like to introduce Mr. Mueller to announce the Students of the Month from the high school.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. As principal of North Ridgeville High School, I am delighted to recognize two outstanding students from the class of 2024. First student I will recognize is Grace Candy. Grace, would you come up, please? Grace was nominated by the staff at North Ridgeville High School because beyond her stellar performance in the classroom, She is recognized for her kindness, care, and empathy. She is a fabulous example of being Ranger strong. She's always helpful to both teachers and students. Grace is a member of the art club. Her favorite class is algebra and drawing. She will be attending the Cleveland Institute of Art. After college, Grace hopes to pursue a career as a storyboard artist. In her free time, you can find Grace napping. She's a remarkable young lady. We recognize the kindness that she brings to our school every day, and we certainly congratulate her for this very deserving recognition as Student of the Month. Congratulations. Thank you. Our next Student of the Month is Zareen Suleiman, also a member of the class of 2024. She is the queen. Actually, it's senior night.
Oh.
She's a senior cheerleader, among other things. Zareen was nominated by the high school staff for her outstanding participation in a variety of programs at North Ridgeville High School, as well as the leadership she provides, not only in those programs and in our school, but amongst her peers across the community. She is a varsity cheerleader and a member of the track team. Zareen is an active member of our high school yearbook, Champions for Life, Prom Committee, Varsity R, and she is the Student Council class president. Her favorite class is yearbook. Zareen hopes to attend The Ohio State University. After college, Zareen hopes to pursue a career as a lawyer. In Zareen's free time, she likes to watch movies and read. She is truly an incredible student who has no limitations on her future. We will definitely miss her, and we congratulate her on being recognized as Student of the Month. At this time, will all of the students of the month please come up front for a photo? Right up here. Right here.
Oh, he does, that's.
Taking the back toward the front, let's go. There you go. Anybody else? One more. We got one more. Me too. Me too. We'll try a little more.
Let me do one more. Awesome. Thank you. Congratulations.
I was in your way. Oh, yeah. Awesome.
Congratulations to all of our students of the month. As always, super impressive group and look forward to all that you will accomplish. At this time, I'd like to call Susan Ostetler to recognize our staff.
Good evening, everybody. I have the honor every month of acknowledging staff members who have done excellent work with our students and with one another. And before I get into that, I would like to thank the Lions Club, for looking through the list of all of the staff members that put in an application for those. What a great group of educators. And I think it's so cool because we have preschool through high school teachers, and we have a bus driver on this. And we have, that are looking for ways to involve families and involve students in the education. So I think that speaks volumes to our staff. And so I thank the Lions Club for acknowledging that as well. Like I said, I have the pleasure of introducing 2 staff members each month. And so our first winner this month is Miss Judy Hayes. As you can see, Judy has made quite an impression. Judy had just came to us in the fall, this past August, and everybody at the high school has just such wonderful things to say about Judy. She had worked as a teacher for Constellation, but felt strongly that she wanted to return to school to become an intervention specialist. So she is not only working for us, but also pursuing her IS license. And as she's doing that, we are fortunate to have her. One of Judy's colleagues had this to share. Judy has been instrumental in all things academic for the high school special education department. She is caring and kind, and she has the patience of a saint. Her soft-spoken and nurturing tone allows students to feel safe in her presence. She is 100% present with the working with her students and always has a smile on her face. We are so lucky to have Judy in our department. Congratulations, Judy, and thank you for your dedication. Our second employee this evening is Amanda Stepanson. Amanda is an intervention specialist at the high school. She was first hired as a substitute and covered a couple of maternity leaves for us. And it was quickly, probably within the first couple of days, we realized that she was somebody that we wanted to bring on our team full time. So she has been with us full time since May of 2021. In addition to her classroom experiences, she has also worked as a softball and golf coach in the past. And one of Amanda's colleagues had this to share about her. Amanda is incredible. She is so good with the students on her caseload. Her collaboration with administration and her compassion when students are escalated is something that is admired by all. She is able to de-escalate even the most escalated students, helping them grow and restore their relationships with others. Congratulations, Amanda, and thank you for the care that you show our students, families, and your colleagues. And I would just like to thank all of our parents, our staff members, and students who took the time to nominate a staff member this past month. We had so many nominations this past month that it was a difficult choice for us, but these two certainly are very deserving and have done wonderful things in our high school. So congratulations again to Ms. Hayes and Ms. Kinsey.
Thank you. Okay, at this time, I would like to ask Mr. Mueller and the high school team to come on up and share with the board and the public a little bit about the great things happening at North Ridgeville High School.
Yes.
Hi, good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
So you all may or may not know that at different points in the year, each school comes up and gives a report to the board about the state of the union in their particular building. Ironic that our national state of the union will be occurring within the next week or so. But we have a presentation that you will see this evening that is about who we are and what we do. We don't doubt that. We don't ask ourselves that question every day, but we do consider that question every day. We pursue the district's vision and mission. The vision of the district, again, is to empower students to seek their preferred future. They don't do that in isolation. We just don't show up and say, what you guys want to do? Hang out, play video games, go for fast food. Doesn't work that way. We work with our families, with our staff, with our community to help guide our students to a variety of pathways. So hopefully you'll see, as we thought about tonight's presentation, we said, how can we break that down? 4 simple ways: our program, our performance, our culture, and our care. The district's mission is to provide for the education of the whole child, understand to the best extent possible every student's background, their story, and their dreams, and to do our very best to try to make sure that they are able to interact during their high school years in a physically and emotionally healthy environment. So
Click on the part that says providing opportunity. Good evening, my name is Brad Jarrett, I'm the associate principal at the high school. So when we talk about programs, we think of providing opportunities for our students. Opportunities that take them past high school. So just to highlight a few things that we are going into next year, we're up to 23 advanced placement courses, 13 honors courses. We have 19 in-house CCP, College Credit Plus. So students that would normally go to Lorraine County Community College or a different university, we are housing those within our departments. Let me scroll a little too far.
Okay.
Project-based learning, everybody thinks of the STEAM and the RHTA. We now have that housed in the high school. And that's opportunities for our kids to not only take those project-based learning classes, but students that have been in that RHTA can come out and take our honors classes, our AP classes. So it's that cross between both. They can have a mixed schedule in that aspect. The CTE is something we're really getting into, going into next year, providing the project Lead the Way, looking into computer science, eventually biomedical, our robotic program, and trying to grow those. So just providing different pathways for students. The Ranger Service Learning, cross-curricular. We have English and social studies within that class, a 3-credit class that they go out and they do service within your community. Looking at just different alternative pathways for students when they're looking for graduation. We have a Rise Up program that a lot of our students are utilizing to earn their seals and earn different ways of meeting their graduation requirements. Scroll through more. So something we're really excited about is the CBI, Career Based Intervention. If you have not heard of it, Able Not Label, our program that we have within the high school. This is now an inclusive program where students from our general education classes can come in and work within Able Not Labels, work hand in hand with other students within our program. And then there's a list of all of our courses that we are now adding next year, 4 new AP courses, honors courses, data science and statistics, again, CBI, and then our engineering programs that we're going through. And we're even, the last one, a referee certification within one of our business classes. So again, just providing opportunities for our students, what is their interest going beyond high schools. And that is our program portion.
So, go ahead, click on that link, please. So most of the resources that we have available to us are blank links.
Oh, it's working.
Is it coming?
Trying to look.
We have a variety of resources to make these programs come to life for each of our kids. One of which is just buffering and working right now. You can skip that one and just go to the next one.
Okay.
So what we're going to show you is things you can find on a web page. Our guidance page, stay right there. Our school profile, which tells you the number of graduates, what their college test scores are, the number of AP courses, et cetera, et cetera. I would encourage everyone to visit the web page and see those. This next schematic just shows you one of the pathways in this particular content area is mathematics that students can take to get a high school diploma. It provides them with opportunities and not dead ends. So if you're struggling in one particular course, you can go across the schematic, take an equivalent course, not only to get you where you need to be to graduate, but to move forward and to build your skills, as we say at the high school, to get better every day in one course or the other. You can go ahead. You can click on that. So we're now into the performance part of our presentation. Yeah, this is not working.
It's not playing well today, so.
You can skip that. And I'm gonna quote our assistant superintendent, Mr. Pritt, at today's visioning meeting for the new high school, which I'm sure will be discussed at some point tonight. He said one of the things that we are sure of is that our performance indicates that during the last 5 years, we have improved each year, not to where we're satisfied, but to where we can say we are next in the pipeline. In demonstrating that we are an outstanding and top school district, not only in the region, but in the state of Ohio. You go ahead, Paul. Yeah. Another way we do that, our teachers working, as I said, to know every kid's story, see if that one will work.
All right.
Our teachers work in teams, and those are some of our absolute real teachers. They work in teams, they meet 3 times a week. They map out their curriculum, they develop the assessments that they're going to assign to students to see whether or not they can report that a student has mastered content. They also then revise and reflect on those assessments and provide alternate opportunities. The goal is to make sure that every student demonstrates successful understanding of the content in a way that can be reported in a passing grade to earn one of the 20+ credits that they will need to earn a diploma from North Ridgeville High School. This next slide shows performance on a particular, any assessment, a pre and a post assessment. You can see that we've how students have improved. You can see the students identified, and we don't have student names up there, but on a particular question that students didn't perform as we would like them to perform. Our teachers then go back, reflect on that question, analyze why the students didn't perform, and decide whether or not it's important enough to go back and reteach so that students have an understanding. This is a formal assessment, but we all know that every day students collect informal formative data by saying, everybody got that? If they say yes, we move on. If they say no, what's the problem? Okay, can anybody help Billy or Mary or Brad or whoever? Until someone gets it. This is the formal way we collect and analyze data. You can go ahead, Paul. Yeah, try out that. It's just another example.
I can't.
Yeah, you can't get there.
Okay.
Okay, so go again, move it over. I apologize. We tested it beforehand and it was working. You can skip that. I already talked about it.
Okay.
And then skip that one. So this is a schematic that we give to every teacher. It helps provide a blueprint for the work that we do. And it talks about, if you look around that circle, you can see that it talks about the 5 things that teachers do, all of which are around learning, L-E-A-R-N. We design the learning, we direct the learning, we assess the learning, we respond to the learning with those interventions or remediations, and ultimately we report on student learning. You can go ahead. There are many other things. Hold on one second. You see the peace sign up there? Peace sign up at 11 o'clock, 10 o'clock. That's environmental engineering. We absolutely, all of us, are responsible for intentionally engineering a physical, that's that safe, orderly school climate that you all expect from us, in which we are working diligently every day to give you confidence that we provide, as well as that emotional climate, that psychological, put kids in a good frame of mind to come to learn, which Mrs. Hignett, our assistant principal, will talk about shortly. But we provide all kinds of reminders for teachers about how to organize and implement their work. But now, we're to my favorite part of the whole presentation, and you can blow right through this. It's about our extracurricular and athletic programs, including our fine and performing arts, our music programs, our art programs, our tech programs. The school's about people. It's about kids. Just roll through a couple of these, Paul. Connections with the communities. We have a Veterans Day program and luncheon for our vets, where our students get to connect with veterans from several of America's most important conflicts over the last century, to understand how and why they are able to enjoy the freedoms that they do. It's a huge part of our culture. Good. Our Lady Rangers basketball program, they're playing Thursday night at home against Rocky River. Please be there. That's a sectional final. And if you'll notice that in these pictures, we've got kids in grades Pee-wee through high school. And in the left picture, the tallest girl you see there is the greatest basketball player in the history of the North Ridgeville City Schools, making time for her elementary fellow Rangers who so look up and admire her. That's what we're about. They love her and she loves them. Go ahead, Paul. Our National Honor Society, kids dedicated to academic excellence. Go ahead. We have a Ranger Service Learning Program where, as you heard, we go out in the community. This particular form shows their community service impact that their service provides the community. This particular student in 2 months had a $2,000 impact on North Ridgeville. We're a school of champions. We are in the Southwestern Conference, which is one of the toughest conferences. Our families, our kids, our staff support our programs. That's our 2023 undefeated Southwest Conference champions. We had the Southwestern Conference Player of the Year. That's not him. It was Loan Margolin, who just had an amazing year. But you see that picture? That's Aiden Wood. You think he enjoys it? That's what we're all about. We want every kid to show that passion and that joy about being part of North Ridgeville High School. Our homecoming and spirit week. Our king and queen on the left. Barbies on the right. Everything has a theme. Go. So the whole report, as I considered what to say to everybody, I really want to just, and I told our team, I really just want to come and say, our band, our symphonic band and concert band played at Severance Hall and dropped the mic. They played at Severance Hall, not a participation trophy. Not every school gets to parade across the hallowed halls stage of Severance Hall, one of the finest music institutions in the country. They got to play because you all made a commitment to music education for your children, and they persevered, and they joined our band, and they practiced, and they marched, and they performed, and they went to solo and ensemble contests and earned ratings that allowed the Cleveland Youth Wind Symphony with Case Western Reserve University to say, invite them, they will do us proud. And they did our community proud, did they not? The mountains in that last picture, I could talk for another hour. Our honors choir, Paul, go ahead. Did I talk about the band? All right, the band is awesome. You heard about Able Not Label. That's part of who we are. Our Key Club. This is their best picture, but their big function is Breakfast with Santa. You all know about that. You all come to that. They do a great job with that. The community connections are incredible, but that's a nice picture.
Gets it. Okay.
Now I'd like to introduce Ms. Megan Hignite, who has been an outstanding addition to the leadership team and member of our staff at North Ridgeville High School.
So, so of course, you know, Mr. Mueller talked about how part of what we're committed to is the whole child or the whole student, and that includes caring for their social emotional well-being. So besides PBIS, which is positive behavior reinforcement, we do a couple of things like raffling, recognizing and doing a raffle for students who are respectful, responsible, and safe. We also had a new addition this year where we added a student of the month parking spot in the first row for students who can drive, have that little extra perk each month. But, you know, we partnered with a lot of other community organizations as well. So we partnered with the Kevin Love Foundation, and I don't know if you guys know who Kevin Love is or not, but he's created an entire curriculum that's really geared toward adolescents. And his entire message is everybody's going through something. And so these activities that we're doing roughly once a month include things like practicing random acts of kindness and being able to recognize if you're going through something and how to cope with that through coping mechanisms. And we also partner, our counseling department is awesome and partners with a lot of other community organizations such as the Lakota Way through the county, Ohio Guidestone and Winston Counseling, all which are housed right within our building. So anything that we can do to give our students the future that we know that they deserve.
Thank you. It's not perfect, but it's good. And the state recognizes what high school kids go through, and they mandate us. Talk to your kids, give them programming about date violence and sexual harassment. So we did. With the help of our district, we brought in Gabby Cruz.
Yes, it was on my notes and I skipped right over it. Love Doesn't Shove came in, and Gabby Cruz, who runs that organization, she came in and spoke with all students, grade 9 through 12, about dating violence and dating safety and of course, ways to cope and resources with what to do if you are faced in any of those sort of situations.
I apologize for some of the data displays not pulling up. We're gonna provide this show to the Board of Education so that you can look at the data. We have tons and tons more. We've created some video that explain the data that we will be sharing with our superintendent, and she can bring those to your attention. We will also be linking those on our webpage. We've got a lot of work to do, but I can tell you, we're working hard to make it happen for our kids, and we love Ranger Nation. Thank you, everybody. Have a good evening. Any questions?
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Mueller, and it's next, Mr. Jarrett. Vice President McCarthy, that concludes the superintendent's report.
Thank you, Mrs. Casario. At this time, we will have announcements. Is there any announcements from the Board of Education this evening? Seeing none, we have hearing of the public. If anyone would like to address the Board of Education at this time, you can come to the podium, sign in, tell us your name. ID number? No, I don't need that. I just need address. No? Anybody? Yep, come on up. Good evening.
Good evening.
We need your, is there a sign-in sheet there on the podium?
Yes.
Okay, so I need you to sign in, and if you could just tell us your name and address, please.
I am Jason Young, and my address is 4295 Sarasota Drive, from Ohio. I am the high school swim coach. I am finishing up my 5th year as the coach here. And in that entire time, we have not had a pool once of our own. And I have talking points here. We've had 5 years of a varsity team, and we have never had our own pool. We practiced at Cuyahoga Heights for 3 years, Berea, Normandy, and Brooklyn. Berea is the closest one of those, and it's about 23 minutes away. Cuyahoga Heights is the furthest, and it's about 28 minutes away. We have had a very successful team, considering the size of the team and the amount of time that the swimmers have to commit to being on the team. In Lorain County, there are 9 schools that have swim teams. None of them have their own pool. North Ridgeville, out of all the cities that have a team, North Ridgeville has the biggest, or is most likely to grow in population size. Avon Lake and Avon, looking at Google Maps, they don't really have any more available land. And North Ridgeville seems to be building a lot of new housing areas. In Western Cuyahoga County, the only school that has its own pool is Lakewood. If you go a little further east of that, Normandy and Valley Forge both have their own pools, but none of the other schools on the west side of Cuyahoga County do. Westlake, Strongsville, North Olmsted, and North Royalton and Brecksville all use rec centers or YMCA's. Fairview might use the rec center. Their rec center is kind of broken right now. In Cuyahoga County, Medina County, Lorraine County, Lake, Geauga, Portage, Summit, and Wayne counties, there are like 5 high schools that have their own pool that's not shared with a rec center or a YMCA. 5 public schools. There's a couple public or private schools like Hathaway Brown, US, Hawken, Gilmore that have their own. But most of it is shared with the rec center or YMCA. If you go west of here, there are 2 schools in Erie County that have their own pool. There are none in Huron County, and there's none in Ashland. So pools in this area of the state are very, very rare. And they're at a premium. Berea currently has practices at their pool from 3 p.m. till 10 p.m. every day. Olmsted Falls practices from 8 to 9:45 at night, because that's the only time they can get in. If we had a pool here, we automatically would be at the top of the list for people wanting to rent that facility. CSU is where a lot of the meets are currently, and Cleveland State every single weekend of the year, except like 4, they have meets. Worcester, basically every single weekend of the year, except 4 or 5, they have meets. CSU's pool does make a profit. I talked to the Denison University coach down by Columbus. His pool is used 360 or 365 days per year. And his pool makes a profit. If North Bridgeville had a pool, the school district would be able to make money off of the facility. Lanes get rented for between $15 and $17 per hour. So depending on the number of lanes that there are, that's a significant chunk of money that could come in. Club team around here. There's a club team that currently practices at North Olmsted, one that practices at Lakewood, one that in Westlake, and one that's in Overland. They struggle to find pools as well, because there is just no available time. All those teams have had to turn people away because they just don't have the lane space. You can't put 10 or 12 8-year-olds in a lane and expect good things to happen. All those teams are looking for more facilities to rent. They just don't have anywhere to rent. In Lorain County, there's 2 pools that can host meets. Both of them are in Overland. One of them is Overland College. The other one is Splashzone. Splashzone has 0 seating. Overland College is attached to the college, so you have to schedule around colleges. Lorain County has a coastline Lake Erie. There's about 5 million kids or people a year that drown because they cannot swim. Learning to swim, I feel, is one of the most important things that can happen during childhood, because you don't know when something could happen. And with Lorain County being on Lake Erie, people go to the beach, and a lot of those people don't have the ability to swim.
Mr. Young, I'm sorry to interrupt you. You've exceeded your time limit. because I didn't even start the timer until we were well into it, but you've exceeded your time limit. Is there something you want to say to the Board of Education to wrap up your comments this evening?
Building a pool for North Ridgeville would help not only the students that are at North Ridgeville, but it would help the entire surrounding area. The district would have the chance to make money off of that facility and would have the chance to be a entity that others are trying to be.
Thank you. Appreciate your
I
time.
should fill the rest of the stuff.
Thank you, appreciate that. Is there anyone else that would like to address the Board of Education this evening? Because I didn't mention this sooner, there's 3 minutes allowed for each person. Just need your name and address as you sign in, please.
Mark Steinbrenner, I live on 37,400 Sugar Creek Lane, North Ridgeville. Coach Young there just stole my thunder a little bit. He took some of my talking points. So I'm just going to talk about a little bit of the history of swim in North Ridgeville. A couple weeks ago, I got a phone call from the Lorraine County Swim Hall of Fame. He expressed that Glenn Mills would like to donate his plaque of his brother that was given to him. He's an honorary inductee in 2024. His brother was named Kyle. Kyle was inducted in 2024. I don't know if anybody's familiar with Kyle Mills. I brought his plaque, and just to show you a picture of him real quick. Kyle Mills, 10 varsity letters during high school. Golf, swimming, cross country. His goal was to earn 12 varsity letters by the time he graduated. Bone cancer forced him to amputate his leg. Kyle didn't make it to graduation. He was also a 2-time division state runner or state qualifier member of the 200 medley relay team. He was also an honorary captain of the team during his senior year because he couldn't swim the senior year because of health reasons. Glenn Mills, his brother, was a fantastic swimmer. He swam for North Ridgeville. He went on to University of Alabama, and then he went on to he qualified for the 1980 Olympic Games, where he was a favorite in the breaststroke. And of course, we boycotted those games, so he never had a chance to swim. But as you can see, our city has a high school with very rich history of swimming. In all, North Ridgeville has 5 residents inducted in the Hall of Fame: Glenn Mills, Kevin Mills, Dave Alega, Rick Arenas, David Housel, and then now Kyle Mills. Which I find it interesting because Housel, who's a graduate in 1979, had an interesting quote. It said it was really, as I said to Coach Arenas, it was like a field of dreams. If they build it, they will come. And what he was talking about was that small group of Hall of Famers were all together at one time. And he was talking about how they didn't have a pool to go to and the challenges they had. They had to go to North Olmsted to swim. We don't even have that option anymore. We're going further out. I really am fearful that the swim team will not survive if we don't get a pool. I'm being honest. I don't know how we can maintain it. There's challenges. We have kids. I think Jason said, or Coach Young said, we have 7 kids in high school right now that end up quitting because of the workload and because of the constraints of swimming. There's no senior days for them. There's no fans in the crowd. They're basically swimming in front of their parents, people who go to the swim meets. No home pool. But it's some of the stats he was saying is absolutely right. One thing he didn't mention is there's not one pool in Lorraine County that accommodates diving. We don't even have a dive team. Part of the reason, part of the swim team is swimming and diving. We don't even have a dive team. So not only but would it be nice to have that pool built, but it would also be nice to have an opportunity for kids to dive. So our district has a unique opportunity. Not only would a pool benefit our swim team, it would benefit that could earn money through, like you said, lane rentals, meets, invitationals, championships. Currently, I'm on the board for Mills Creek Swim Team, and we have one pool that we swim our championships at, and that's Avon. They would love to move it somewhere else and rotate it around. That's a 2-day event. It's on a weekend in July. So that's 2 days at that pool event. So it's something that it's really needed in Lorraine County. And some things I've already said before is that swimming allows kids with special needs to participate in the sport. And there's not many sports that do that. That's all I got. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Smith. Is there anyone else this evening that would like to address the Board of Education? Hello. Come on up.
Hi, everybody.
Good evening.
It's good to see familiar faces. My name's Ann Gutschott. I live at 35071 Jason Drive here in North Ridgeville, and I also teach here. I teach 6th grade social studies. That does not enable me to be a good public speaker. But I am here today to talk about this amazing opportunity that we have to build a new high school and include a pool with it. There's so many benefits to doing this for really the whole city. But I'm really here to talk to you from my own unique perspective as my son Ben and Owen's mom. My younger son Owen is on the swim team and has been for the last 2 years at the high school. He also swam with Mills Creek, but this experience that he's had swimming at the high school has been amazing for him. He's kind of found his tribe and found that confidence that, you know, you really hope that your child finds with, you know, a team sport. It's helped me to recognize the dedication and the commitment that these kids have had. That kid gets on the bus at 4:30 and they drive to Cuyahoga Falls and they practice, and then he comes in the door probably a little after 8 o'clock or so. It's a commitment. It's a lot, and the team deserves it. But I also want to talk to you about the perspective of being a special needs parent. My older son, Ben, is 19 years old, and he has autism. He has intensive special needs. He swam for Mills Creek for the past 7 years, and it was an amazing experience for him. The reason why is because he swam with his typical peers. There are not a lot of team sports out there where a kid with intensive needs is on an equal playing field with his typical, you know, peers. And Ben just loved the team aspect of it. I have to say, from, you know, as a sport, swimming lends itself to inclusivity, because you're really competing against yourself in your own time. So that's something that really like appeals to our special needs population. But I can't lie, it's the team aspect that Ben really loved. That was the part about it. I mean, that kid, he would just, he would marvel, correct me if I'm, he would probably stop midway down the lane to marvel at the people that were cheering for him. I'm not lying. He would literally wave at people while he was swimming. That doesn't speak so highly of him, like maybe doing this as a high school team sport, but that was my hope when he went to high school, for him to be able to, you know, continue with his Mills Creek friends. unfortunately, it was that time factor, the fact that we don't have our own home pool, that was really restricted for him and made it so that he could not do that. I think that as a team sport, this would be something that we really want to think about, like as a city, as a community. You all have done so much to make North Ridgeville more inclusive. Are not just, I mean, speaking as a teacher of 17 years here, I see it in the classroom all the time. And since Ben's been in school, it has gotten better and better and better. But programs like Able Not Label, Sparkle, all of these programs that, you know, you green lighted, like to your credit, have made North Ridgeville better and better. I think we need a pool, because this is something that would really advance that for our kids and really our community. More than this, there are benefits to our special needs community that kind of go beyond the swim team. And that has to do with the fact that we really need to be able to provide aquatic therapy to our special needs population. We have families right now in the district that are seeking out aquatic therapy and are having trouble finding it. And it's so good for kids. I could go on and on about all the benefits. Our kids just seem to be, talk to any parent of a kid with special needs and you'll find out they're kind of like magically attracted to water. There's something about it. So it's definitely a preferred activity, but also it improves strength. It improves muscle tone. It improves self-regulation. It improves the ability to pay attention. It even promotes digestive health. There are so many benefits to it. So for these reasons, and for so many more, I really hope that you consider building a pool with the new high school. It's gonna be good for everybody. It's gonna be good for our community. It's gonna be good for the whole city. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Good evening.
Hello, my name is Bill Wickert, 6,000 Haven Crest Court, North Ridgeville. I didn't prepare anything to say, so I'm gonna come up here and just say what I was thinking, which is my daughter, Katie, is on the swim team and absolutely fell in love with the sport. She always loved water. She always loved being around other people, but being able to do this as part of the team was something that was very special to her. I want to continue to foster that, but I do understand one very specific thing as someone who also reads the internet and knows the challenges that you all face in making these decisions, given how many people within the city also were not in favor of the levy in the first place. My opinion is that that can all be shifted in such a way as to provide not only something that addresses what our students need, what our kids need, what the community around us need, so that we can try to make it as cost effective as possible, but also something that can be taken advantage of by the number of seniors in the community who are going to be paying the same taxes, but not being able to maybe take advantage of some of the other resources. Being able to have the ability to get to a pool at the right times where they can work out, where they can develop their skills and be able to do the things that they need is something that gives them a benefit and shows them something that they can take out of this whole process. So for me, very simply, it's something that I absolutely really would love to see us do. And there's so many things we can continue. Everybody can keep coming up here and just throwing these things up here. Cost effective, great for our kids, great for the community, great for our surrounding areas. So I'm going to finish signing, but thank you very much. Sure.
Thank you. Is there anyone else who would like to address the Board of Education this evening? Good evening.
Thanks. My name is Brady Reichman. I have two kids here in the district. one at Ranger High Tech, and then his son is a freshman here. He's on a swim team. He's swam for Mills Creek since he was 7 years old, and just loved it so much that I was like, I can't believe he likes this. And he just took to just a fish to water. And I've watched him just grow throughout this year and just improve. But then I also see the hardship of, I love this sport, but it's so challenging to do. So he doesn't get to come home and do homework. It's 8:30 at night by the time he gets home. And he still has to eat dinner and just relax and be a kid for a little bit. So there's the challenges of, that all these kids go through to just put forth. And because they want to represent their school, they want to show their talent and all the things that they can do. And, this one sport has all these challenges put against it. I really feel our swim team would grow and be, compared to the other high school teams if we had that pool that's here and we didn't have those challenges of not getting home till 8:30 at night and all of those things. I was not a swimmer, so this is all new to me when my son started, but I did fortunately go to a high school that had a pool. And as a high school student, we got to take swim classes. I did my lifeguard certification there. So it was another opportunity that, that we had that, put us in, with the community. So we could train to get a job and things like that. And there were, members of our community that during certain hours could come in and use the facilities. So there's so many just different things and all my fellow parents just I didn't prepare anything obviously, but I just very inspired and just really want to speak up because I feel this is such a big opportunity for our city and just could make us even stronger as a community. So that is all from me.
Thank you. Anyone else would like to address the Board of Education today?
That's one of the list.
Good evening.
Good evening. My name is Drew. I live at 33542 Dickens Circle, North Ridgeville, Ohio. I was a member of the swim team for the past 2 years. It was recommended to me by peers and fellow teammates at the Mills Creek Swim. And I've been asked to express the benefits and the challenges from the swim team from a high school perspective. The benefits are immensely great. It's a wonderful sport. It's physically and mentally challenging. It's not only you against other fellows that are people that swim with you, it's also you against your mentality. Put in the effort, you get different rewards. And it's also great for people that have special needs, as mentioned for Ben, also for me. I am on the spectrum, very low, but some things. It is great for me because I get to socialize, but also pushes me, makes me challenge myself to do more. But some of the great challenges that I've had to deal with the past 2 years is how many hours per week and how far we travel. We travel about 28 minutes on a good day. Our buses, they tend to run late day to day. That can add anywhere between 5 to 15 minutes. So that's anywhere between 30, 45 minutes. And factor in the traffic, that's anywhere between a good day, we get there in a half hour, bad day, we get there an hour late at times. But also the workload. For a high schooler, I'm fortunate enough to be homeschooled. So the workload is not as great, but I still have my challenges. Because I have to work in the morning as part of my education. So an average day for me would be I go to work from anywhere between 6 a.m. to 12. Get home for 2 hours, meet with a tutor, get on the bus, don't get home till about 8:30 on a good night. Get like a quick dinner in, do some work, and then back to sleep, do it all again the next day. Another challenge with this is how far we constantly travel, but also with that workload, 4 hours gone, 5 days a week. This past year, I was not able to go to every practice, as I'd have to go to other things I had responsibility with that were, I was not able to. If we had a home pool and our times were closer, I may have made more practices, could have been a better year. But with this pool being nearby, it also opens up a bunch of business opportunities with that pool. With my work, I work as a lifeguard at the city of Westlake. If we had a pool here, there'd be business opportunities for high school students as well, with lifeguards, supervisors, maintenance. It's a lot of careers. And it's also a home pool for our senior night. We have to share our senior nights with our schools, we're grateful for that, but it just doesn't feel that special. If you look at the football team senior night, it's packed. Everybody, the energy it's truly marvelous for them. For us, it's like, hey, thank you for letting us use your pool. We won't intrude on your senior night. We only get a time slot. We get that senior night. Like, hey, good job you made it all the way to the senior. Thank you for everything you've done. But you don't have friends there because people don't want to drive 45 minutes to a pool for 3 hours. But you can't have all your family there because the home team's gonna have all the advantage. They're gonna have all the people there. Not everybody gets their family in there. So it's a little sad for the seniors, but it's also hard on us when we're spending so much time on the road when we could have meets at our own place. That's all I had to say. Just go and fill some real quick.
Is there anyone else who would like to address the board this evening? Seeing none, I would just like to commend all of you on your dedication and passion for the swim team at North Ridgeville City Schools. Rest assured that conversations are happening, and they've started already, but they really kicked off today with a visioning, our very first visioning session. And they will continue to ramp up and we hear you. So again, I thank you for being here, and thank you for voicing your dedication and your passion for your sport. It's very commendable. Did you have anything else that you want to mention? Yeah. Well, I think everybody that got an award left. But it is the time for an intermission, so if you are one of those people that want to also leave, not any of you, or you. Now is your time to do that. If not, we will move right along.
Thank you, thank you. Yeah. It's good. Came up a lot.
Okay, we're gonna move right along to our consent agenda. It is recommended the Board of Education approve the consent agenda resolution as presented. Moved. Thank you. Can I have a second, please?
Second.
Moved by Ms. Saxon, second by Mr. Grigsby. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, roll call, please.
Saxon?
Yes.
Mr. Grigsby?
Yes.
Mr. Haynes?
Yes.
Mrs. McCarthy?
Yes.
Mr. Bacher?
All right, we're gonna move into the finance report. There's only one item for recommendation on our finance report this evening. It's a resolution to approve the financial statements and reports for the month of January 2024. That this time the January is correct. I move to approve the finance items in one reading.
Second.
Thank you. Moved by myself, seconded by Mr. Grigsby. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, roll call please.
Mrs. McCarthy?
Yes.
Mr. Grigsby?
Yes.
Mr. Haynes?
Yes.
Mrs. Saxon?
Yes.
Mr. Vaca?
Thank you. That brings us to other board business for tonight. We'll start with human resources report. Mr. Haynes?
Thank you, Ms. Harvey. We have a few items to consider under human resources report, 1 supervisor contract, 2 support staff appointments, 1 support staff substitute contract, move to approve the human resource items in 1 reading.
Second.
Moved by Mr. Haynes, seconded by Mrs. Saxon. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, roll call please.
Mr. Haynes?
Yes.
Mrs. Saxon?
Yes.
Mr. Grigsby?
Yes.
Mrs. McCarthy?
Yes.
Mr. Vaca?
All right. That moves us into adjourning the meeting. It is recommended the Board of Education adjourn this regular meeting.
Second.
Moved by Mr. Grigsby, seconded by Ms. Saxon. Is there any discussion? Roll call please.
Mr. Grigsby?
Yes.
Mrs. Saxon?
Yes.
Mr. Haynes?
Yes.
Mrs. McCarthy?
Yes.
Mr. Vaca?
All right, that concludes our meeting for this evening. Thank you all and have a great night.